I will be forever the myth.
You're the king of kings, man.
There's always a pecking order. The little packers never mess with the big packers. So I'm a rooster, and he's a chicken, so to speak.
All right, welcome back to the Bodybuilding Legends Podcast, and I have a very special guest with me today, Mr. John Citrone from, where are you from? Where are you at now, John? You're from England originally, but where are you at now, in Spain?
No, I'm in England.
Oh, you're in England. Okay, all right. I want to go over your bodybuilding career, but before we do that, I want to talk to you about today because you look amazing, and every time I see pictures of you on Facebook, you're always in fantastic shape. How old are you now, John?
I'll be 79 next month.
79 next month. Okay.
79 in May. Yes.
In May. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So what's your routine like now? Because I'll talk to some older bodybuilders and stuff, and I want to find out like what they're doing now to work out. How many days a week do you work out?
I work out, well, almost every day.
Wow.
I do one body part a day, and then just, if it's chest today, arms tomorrow, back the next day, legs the next day, for instance, and then in a circle.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So I'm doing a body part every 5 days.
Now, how do you work out when you work out, John? Do you go heavy again? Like I remember you used to be really strong. So
yeah.
you were probably training heavy when you were younger, right?
Right. And I would still say I'm training heavy, but that heavy is nothing like the heavy that used to be, but it's still as heavy as I can handle.
Really? Okay.
So I'm still training, as heavy as I can handle.
Okay.
Which is not that heavy these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not like one of these, like a lot of older guys when they get, bodybuilders when they get older, they say, I'm just going to train light, and they just go with the light weights. But you don't do that.
Not really, no. I still work out, hard, and for about half an hour would be maximum time I spend in the gym.
Oh, only half hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So, how about your diet? What's your diet like?
I just generally stick to a reasonable high protein diet. I take a lot of fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
And just a general healthy diet.
Okay. All right. How many meals a day?
I lean towards protein and lower carbohydrates.
Okay.
Yeah, I still lean towards that way.
How many meals a day are you eating, John?
Probably 2.
2? Okay. 2 meals a day. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I can stagger them. Sometimes I can go most of the day on just one meal, but otherwise small snacks.
Okay.
But I don't eat a lot now. I can't take in a lot of food anymore.
Really?
So,
okay. Yeah. When did that change? What age did that change about?
Oh, yeah, probably 4 or 5 years ago. That my food intake gets less. So as I get older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is enough. I still feel fit and healthy with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you still look lean. Every picture I see, you got your tank top on, you look really lean still.
Yeah.
So what's your weight now, John?
I'm 78 kilos yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd have to convert that.
Yeah. And how about when you were competing? What was your weight?
Well, my top weight was around 88.
88 kilos.
90 kilos.
Okay.
That was my biggest weight.
Okay. How do you feel like as you've gotten older with your exercise and everything? Has there been any changes?
Well, I change my routine all the time. Really, and then swing back to the normal multiple sets. Sometimes I'll go try the low sets again, 1 or 2 sets.
Okay.
Very slow movement, and that now I'm just back to regular sets, doing about 10, 15 sets on a body part.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the beginning, John. Let's start when you very first started working out. What got you into working out? What made you want to start lifting weights?
I don't know. I was about 14 at the time when I went down to one of the local youth clubs, and of course there was weights lying about the place. And I just I'd never seen bodybuilding magazines. I heard of bodybuilding at all at that stage. I was just a youth going to a youth club.
Yeah.
And of course, there was weights around, and I was watching the guys lifting weights, and it was really Olympic lifting at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, one of the instructors asked us, he says, would you fancy coming down and having a go? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. And he took us on and started teaching us Olympic lifting.
Okay.
So I started on the Olympic lifting, and of course, I became good at it. And then just went from that to bodybuilding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find
So
it? You had
I went on to bodybuilding. By the time I was about 15, I'd become keen on trying to build a bit of muscle.
Okay. Did you think you had good genetics for strength and for size?
I never heard of genetics at that time. We didn't even know about it. Didn't even think about it. Yeah.
Right.
Just genetics at that time.
Yeah.
But then when we started training fairly seriously, by the time I was around about 16, I couldn't understand why my training partners weren't keeping up with us.
Yeah.
I was making gains that they weren't.
Yeah.
So I couldn't understand that part. And my bench presses and me lifting was flying. I was by the time I was 17, I'm doing 400-pound bench presses and
No kidding. Wow.
50-pound squats and what have you. Yeah.
Wow.
And training partners were nowhere near.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I just figured out. Well, I couldn't. I just thought, well, there mustn't be training the way I am, but
Yeah.
that was how it was. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, I was keen at judo at that time.
Oh, really?
By
Okay.
the time I was 17, I was fighting someone younger out there in a judo contest. And of course, me judo thing got pulled off. And I was sort of in bare skin chest. And of course, somebody after the contest, somebody came up to us and says, have you ever thought about entering a bodybuilding contest? And I says, no, what's a bodybuilding contest? I mean, we're talking about 1958,
58, okay.
Yeah, around about that. And he says, look, there's a competition down in Sunderland at the weekend. Go down and have a look at it. Just go and watch it.
Yeah.
He says, once you watch it, I'll guarantee you'll want to enter it. He says, because just looking at you, you're ready to compete.
Yeah.
I says, all right, okay. So I went down, saw the competition, and I thought, oh, well, yes, yeah, maybe I'll try that. So I'm 17, and the local Mr. North Britain is coming up at the time, the junior Mr. North Britain.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, well, I've entered it. So I entered the contest. And of course, Oscar Heidenstam was the main man. And I won the contest easily. It wasn't even close. It was easy.
Yeah.
So I won the contest, and Oscar says, you're the best junior we've got in the country at the moment. He said, when you come down to London, I think you might just be able to take the title.
Wow. No
I've
kidding.
never even been at a show at this time.
Yeah, you never even saw one.
So,
Right.
no. So anyway, I went down to London for the final, and it was held with the Mr. Universe contest.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I went in and saw the Mr. Universe competitors, and I was just floored wide open.
Yeah, that was 58, John?
Seeing those physiques like that.
Was that 1958?
And anyway, there was a big lineup. I entered and I got second. I was second to the previous year's winner.
Wow.
Paul Nash. And of course, the following year I went down and won easily. And so now on my third contest, I'm junior Mr. Britain. At that time, there was no it was all autographs, and
Right.
it was autograph hunters then, rather than camera jobs.
Yeah.
And,
So you won the junior Mr. Britain, and then you got second in the universe.
No, I won the junior Mr. Britain, and then after that, I'm back on doing a bit of powerlifting again.
Okay.
So the National Powerlifting Championships was coming on, and I entered the Powerlifting Championships by the time, at that time, I'd come on at 19. I ended that and I won. I broke 2 British records at the time. So it was a 401 pound bench press, a 401 pound bench press, and a 500 pound squat at that time. And I was weighing about 12 stone. I can't remember exactly now. Just a small guy. So I was the first 400 pound official bench press in England.
Wow, no kidding.
In a contest then.
Yeah.
From then, I entered the Mr. Universe, and I'm still only 19. And the first time I entered, that would be 1964.
Okay.
And I got fourth.
Okay.
1965, I got second.
Okay.
1966, that's when I won my first one.
Okay.
Arnold came back down in 65.
Yeah. Okay.
And he came second.
So you got fourth the first time, and then you got second. And then in 1966, you won your class.
Yeah. And then the following 4 years, I won again.
Yeah.
So 4 times.
So, wow, no kidding. So in 1966, that was the year Chet Yorton won the overall. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Who was in your class, John, in the short class?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
No, I don't remember. Those times, the classes range around about 20 competitors.
Yeah. And they would get guys from all over the world, right?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah, it was the major contest. And it's funny though, in those days, I mean, there was no, there's no music to your routines.
Right.
And there was no special lighting.
Yeah.
Everything was done, the judging was done in a private hall.
Yeah.
So very few spectators, only guests.
Yeah.
To be in there.
Yeah, and it was like you said, it was in
the show the next day was in a major London theatre.
Okay.
With a major full-time orchestra.
With an orchestra, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, an orchestra playing the music.
Yeah.
So everybody posed to the same music.
Yeah, that's funny to hear now. So the whole orchestra would play throughout the whole contest, and that would just be the background music, right? Yeah. Now, when they did that judging, like you said, it was in a hall, so it wasn't in an auditorium. It wasn't.
No, it was in the hotel. In the hotel.
Okay.
The biggest room in the hotel.
Okay, but the judges were just sitting behind a table, and you guys were right there. You were just right in front of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no special lighting or nothing. You're just
No. That was it. Yeah.
So when did you first meet Arnold? Was that in 66 when he got second place?
It would be 65 when Arnold came in.
Okay.
He got second. It was 65. So it was 65. That's when Chet Yorton beat him.
Yeah. Okay. 66. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then me, Chet Yorton, and Vern Weaver were the 3 winners. And we went off to Ireland to do guest spots.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Arnold was left behind. And of course, Arnold, I mean, he created such a thing. He was that big. He was only 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And he was huge as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And of course, he was earmarked that next time, who's ready? And he proved right. I mean, the following year, he came in so much improved.
Yeah.
How did a person improve that much as a 19-year-old?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that's how it goes.
Did you get to meet him at that show in 1966? Did you get to talk to him?
He couldn't speak English at the time.
Oh, okay.
He learned to speak English. By the next year, he was communicating.
Okay.
And that's when he came up and stayed at my house. We did a couple of guest spots together.
Oh, okay.
And we became friends. And we went down to the local nightclub and had meals out.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And he was very quick to learn anything. I mean, the year before he couldn't speak English, the year after he's talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Because he was here in London that year and lived with Wag Bennett.
Yeah. That's when he met Wag Bennett, and Wag Bennett really helped him with his career, right?
Yeah.
So what was he like? Did you get a chance to talk to him, and did he tell you what his ambitions were, or was he just?
I mean, I mean, with Arnold, anywhere you went, everybody's looking at Arnold. I mean, he stands out a mile anyway. Even by this time, he's 20-year-old, and he was forceful. He liked the girls. Just talked about girls all the time.
Yeah.
Fast cars and girls.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, he'd approach girls just walking past. He was, yeah.
He wasn't shy, huh?
The girls, yeah, that's Arnold, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was training girls and cars. In fact,
yeah. What was it like to work out with them? Did you work out with them at all?
We didn't work out together. So, no, we didn't even when he came to the gym, we didn't actually work out then.
Okay.
So I didn't actually see him work out.
Yeah.
London, when I met him up in London at Wags, because I used to go down regular, then we'd talk and that. But we didn't actually work out together.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So the next year you come back in 1968 and you won your class again, right?
Yeah, well, in 1968, I had to go into the professional contest.
Oh, okay, because you won the amateur.
I'd won 2 amateurs. In 68, I had opened my own gym. By the time 67, I opened my own gym. When I got to London, Oscar says to John, look, you're going to have to enter the professional. I said, he says, because you're a professional now, you've opened your own gym.
Oh, okay.
So that makes you a professional.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he says in sport, that's how it is. If you earn money from the sport, you're a professional.
Wow.
He says, you have to go the same way.
So the only way you could, the only way you could be an amateur was like to do another job that has nothing to do with fitness, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So I said, okay, and of course, it was Freddie Ortez was in the contest that year.
Yeah.
So he came over, and he was going to be the obvious winner. He was one of the sort of superstars of the year at that time. And of course, Columbu was in the amateur class.
Okay.
So I would have been up against Columbu if I stayed in the amateur, which would have been interesting at the time. As it so happens, Arnold arrived and he just wasn't in his best condition that year.
Right, that's when he was big and kind of smooth, right?
Didn't hit it.
Yeah.
And of course, as it turned out, I beat Freddie, which was, a great win for me. I mean, I beat Freddie. But they didn't compare us for the overall. In those days, they never compared the 3 winners for the overall.
Right.
It just says, right, Arnold won. That's it. So if we got compared that year, because I was in the best condition and Arnold wasn't, the result might have been different.
Yeah, you might have beat Arnold.
Yeah, it goes.
Was there a story about him drinking whiskey? Did you tell that story before, John? About Arnold drinking whiskey backstage?
A lot of the competitors drank alcohol through the at that time. Yeah. So, I mean, I never saw Arnold actually drink any whiskey.
Okay.
But a lot of the competitors used to at that time.
Yeah.
So,
The story I heard was that Freddie was backstage and Arnold went and checked him out. And he was drinking whiskey and Arnold asked him what he was drinking. And then Freddie gave him the whiskey and he drank a little bit. And they said when Arnold went out on stage, you could tell he was kind of drunk. He was like, he wasn't holding his stomach in, and he was like sort of staggering on stage, and then I guess somebody yelled at him from the audience, and then he straightened up,
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if it was as much as that, but Freddie was warming up in a separate dressing room to us. He didn't warm up with us.
Okay.
In a separate dressing room. So Arnold could have gone in there. I didn't see that part. I just remember when they called us now that we have to go on stage. We walked out. I walked out of my dressing room. Freddie walked out of his dressing room, and I nearly fainted when I saw him. He was that big.
Wow.
His arms were the biggest arms I'd ever seen at that time. I just went, what? And so I thought, oh, well, that's that.
Yeah.
He didn't have the legs or the symmetry to go with it.
Right.
But I mean, he was so big. He was the biggest. Well, he was the biggest person I've seen. at that time.
Wow, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, his arms are legendary, aren't they?
Yeah, they were. Right.
Yeah.
So.
But you just had better overall symmetry. You had a more overall physique.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And even Bill Pearl and Dennis Tinerino, they were watching the judging, and they come up and says, "You've won this, man. You're going to win this."
Yeah. Okay.
Meaning you'll be Arnold again.
Yeah.
That's how it went.
When did you first meet Bill Pearl?
You
meet him the year before when he won the pros?
At the show, and then at one of his seminars, he called us up on stage and to have a chat with him. You know, we were comparing poundages and bench presses.
No kidding. Yeah.
Because I was benching, I'd gone up in nearly a 500-pound bench.
500-pound bench, unbelievable! Yeah. Wow.
I did a 490 at Wag Bennett show, and I did a 480 at the show in Ireland. Yeah.
Okay. So they would have like kind of exhibitions with powerlifting at the bodybuilding shows, right? So you guys would go out there and lift the weights.
Every guest star had to do some kind of lifting.
Wow, no kidding. Yeah.
So you strength at the time.
Yeah.
Guest star did. We all did. Yeah.
And
my personality was the bench press. Rick Wayne's, his was dumbbell press.
Okay.
Arnold, curl and deadlift. Curl or deadlift. And Franco, he was a deadlifter as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everybody used to do, a certain lift. Their favorite.
Did you guys have to do that, or that was part of the show?
Well, it was expected. I suppose I was never a part of where you had to or was expected, and we just did it. You know, it was what we did. Yeah.
Okay, that's wild. Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, I saw videos of Franco deadlifting and stuff or benching, but I didn't know that was all part of the package.
It was, yeah. In England, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's wild. What was Wag Bennett like? You got a chance to meet him as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, we were top friends, me and Wag, for years. Great guy, absolutely great guy. Yeah. Just what a bodybuilding family. Him and Diane, you know, they were a real bodybuilder. Everybody used to stay at their house when they came over. You know, they provide accommodation for everybody.
Yeah.
I used to stay down there at their house when I was visiting London.
Yeah.
And Arnold lived there. Rick Wayne lived there for a while.
Okay.
And, Frank Richards, we all used to sort of keep down at Wags.
Yeah. I've seen pictures of Arnold at the table, the family table, eating and stuff. It looked like a good time. It looked like they were really nice people.
Yeah. I think when Arnold says he trained 5 hours a day, I think he was around the gym 5 hours a day. Nobody trains 5 hours a day.
Right. No, nobody trains 5 hours a day. Right.
Yeah, but he says he trains 5 hours a day. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Be in the gym there. Be in the house 5 hours. Yeah, all day long. Yeah.
Right.
That's what he did. Yeah. So,
what did you think of Rick Wayne's physique?
Oh, terrific. I mean, Rick, he was another one with the arms that was outstanding at the time.
Yeah. Incredible arm.
When Rick Wig came in, I mean, that was around about 1966, 70, he became, and of course, because he was that much bigger than everybody else, they were blaming the steroid thing that it was through steroids that Rick and there's a little bit of stigma behind him that, oh, he's a steroid man. And of course, when he went to compete against Paul Winter in the universe, I mean, Rick was miles ahead, but
really?
Paul won on symmetry. The second one was more symmetrical, but he was nowhere near as Rick Wiggs.
So why did they think Rick was on steroids? Because he was so big?
Yeah, they were blaming the steroids with Rick.
Okay.
That's nonsense. He was just terrific.
Yeah.
And of course, we were friends. And Rick came up to my house. We did guest spots together. We went together to do guest spots. And but I was surprised when he went back to his hometown and left bodybuilding behind altogether.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah.
So, and I see he's been a bit more coming through on Facebook now.
Yeah, me too. I see him on Facebook too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's okay.
How old is Rick now? Is he in his 80s?
84.
He's older than you, right?
He's 84.
84. Wow.
Yeah.
He looks good. He still looks good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What when you talk about the steroids, John, were guys starting to use them back then in the 60s? Is that when they pretty much started?
Yeah, it was around about 66 when it came out in England that the Americans were using these anabolic steroids.
Oh, they thought the Americans were using them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a hold of some of those stronger tablets at the time.
Yeah.
And I started taking them. Well, I mean, 2 a day.
Right.
It's 2 a day of stronger tablets.
Yeah.
For them, and of course, so the thing was out that steroids was in,
Yeah.
Steroids.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Were guys taking them all the time, or were they just taking them for competitions, or how did they do it?
I don't think really people knew what everybody else was taking. They just, once the steroids came in, we started using them.
Yeah.
And we used them all the time then.
Okay.
And of course, I mean, I used them for years and years, and I never had any after effects or side effects.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
But you're taking pretty.
I mean, bodybuilders will take them all year round.
Yeah. You were taking kind of small dosages though, like just 2 tablets a day.
Well, yeah, at the time, and then it grows. But we were never taking the kind of things that you hear about now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
An injection. I used to go and get an injection a week or every 2 weeks from a doctor in Newcastle that would give one in decades, and it was a decade durable, and only 50 milligram then.
Okay.
So it was very, very small, and the average tablet we might take was maybe 4 diameter or 4 stronger tablets a day.
Okay.
So there were small dose uses.
Yeah.
And so that's how it was, and then everybody was taking them. Yeah.
So the doctors were okay with giving it out back then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this doctor was.
Yeah.
Other doctors weren't, but we found a doctor that was prescribing them for us. So we found him there. He gave us prescriptions, and we go down to the chemist and pay for them.
Yeah.
The only way you could get them then.
Yeah. But before you ever took them, you were benching 500 pounds, right?
It was about that time. Yeah, I'd have been bench pressing certainly up there about 400.
Okay.
So by the time I hit the 500 part, I was around about 19. And so I would probably have been on steroids for about a year then. So no, exactly. No, it's after that when they came out. Yes, it was. I wouldn't have been on steroids at the time.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, 66. So this was about 64.
Yeah. Now, the IFBB was starting around in the 1960s. Did you ever think about going to New York and competing in the IFBB? Because a lot of guys were doing that.
Well, the IFBB that started in 65. It wasn't yet when Larry.
Yeah.
Yes, when Arnold eventually went to America and started working for Wade. After a few years, he sent me an invitation for the Olympia.
Oh, okay.
I got a written invitation from him. He said, "Will you compete in Mr. Olympia?"
Okay.
You must come in your best condition.
Yeah.
And I says, "Well, yeah, I'd like to." And of course, there was a professional contest coming off in Germany with some top lads, Roy Callender and a few. And I was going to enter that, so I decided to enter my first contest there. And I was due to enter, but I missed my flight.
Oh, you missed your flight? Oh, no.
Flight to go on.
Oh, man.
I missed my flight. And of course, I was so disappointed in it, so as though I'd chickened out on it, that I hadn't. I missed my flight.
Oh, man.
Flight to get back there. And it didn't go down too well. I never did. So I never took Arnold up on it. So I didn't go compete. And then, of course, years later, and I'm talking years later now, within recent years, one of the the show exhibitions. Wayne D'Amelia had shows. I was on the stand at selling our Panada equipment.
Yeah.
And I was on the stand in just a t-shirt and a vest and whatever.
Yeah.
And Wayne D'Amelia come up and he says, "How, John?" Because I sponsored a few of his contests when he was doing the Grand Prix in England.
Yeah.
I was a sponsor for them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When Dorian won in England, I was a sponsor.
Oh, wow.
And,
Okay.
Anyway, so Wayne come up to us, he says, "But you're in terrific condition." He says, "Why don't you come and enter the Olympia? That would the Masters."
Yeah.
I said, "Wayne, we've tried to get in, and there's no way into the Masters from England. There was no qualifiers."
Oh.
And he says, "Well," he says, "I'll invite you." He said, "Will you come?" I said, "Yes, I will." So he says, "Well, okay, you've got an invitation." He says, "I'll see the head man in England." And anyway, he says, "So will I start you over the next contest?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to enter." Yeah. And of course, when it came about, our main head man in England says, "Look, you can't go. You cannot go without a qualification." He says, "I can't send NABBA's top man over to the Olympia without qualifying. I'll have a riot on my hands."
Oh,
he
man.
says, "I just cannot do it." He says, I says, "Well, if it can be done, it can be done. Doesn't matter."
Yeah.
So I still didn't get.
Wow. Okay.
So up to that time, there was no qualifiers in.
Yeah.
Now it has changed, but now they don't have it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So this is why I never got into the.
Okay. Wow.
I tried to, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. John, when did you start doing all your strongman stuff on stage? I saw that. I saw videos of that where you're up there and you're bending bars.
Yeah. That went down really well. I just started after I won the university. You know, I was just simply a strong person.
Yeah.
So I put this act together, and it turned out we had a trial at one of the nightclubs in our local area. And I says, "Can we come on stage?" And I want to do the Strongman Act. Put this series of lifts together. Doing the angle and anchor, blowing up the whole water bottle, bending the bar, the steel bar with my hands and bending the bar between my teeth.
Yeah.
It went down really well. It went down terrific. And then so we got spots all around the country and some of the nightclubs. Major nightclubs doing our strength act.
Wow.
Of course, I did it. Oscar asked us to do it on the universe stage. I'm not sure if it was 71 or 72.
Okay.
So we did it on the universe stage. Went down really well.
Wow, that's awesome.
World Championships in Belgium. They asked us. That's when Frank Zane won, and we did our act on the stage there as well in Belgium. Zane won the World Championships.
When Zane did, okay.
Yeah. So we had I spent about 10 years doing that act, which is why I didn't compete through that time. In 1969, I pulled out of the competition stage and concentrated on that.
Okay.
That's what happened. And I came back in when Oscar announced that he was going to have a Masters Mr. Universe. He said, "Would you compete in that if we have one?" I said, "Yeah, would you?" Okay. So
and you still had your gym at this time, John? You were still owning your gym?
Yeah.
Okay. How many years did you have your gym?
Well, when I was I had 4 gyms when I first opened my first gym.
Okay.
Within 4 years, I opened one a year, so I had 4 gyms running at that time. That was in 1966 to about 70.
Okay.
So from then on, when I discovered Panada equipment, I became agents for them, and I opened another series of gyms. Then we had about 16 gyms running at one time.
16. Wow. Yeah. No kidding.
Wow. And of course, the business had gone quite large. And then we had about 16 gyms running.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And after that, I formed Peak Body Nutrition.
Okay.
But we became agents for Metrex.
Oh,
We were the first Metrex contract. We had the first Metrex contract for England.
no kidding. Wow.
Yeah. So we were the main agents from Metrex, which I discovered when I was in America.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now, was Peak Body, was that its own nutritional supplements, or were you guys just distributing it?
Still running now.
Okay.
Still running now.
Still running now. Okay.
Yeah. And my son runs it now. I'm back now.
Yeah. Wow.
So still running, doing well. Yeah.
So that's why you kind of stopped competing, because you were running so many gyms and you had so much stuff going on.
Yeah. And then when then around 1980, I competed in the IFBB. I was at training a gym in the north there, and of course Bill. What's his name again?
Bill Pearl?
He was one of the agents for IFBB.
Okay.
And of course, I was training in his gym, and he said, "You're in terrific condition." He says, "Why don't you enter the English Championships, IFBB?" I says, I've never been IFBB, man. He says, "Well, you should enter." He says, "It's coming up in just a few weeks' time." And I says, well, I'm not qualified for it. He says, "If I can get you in, will you enter it?" And I says, "Well, yeah." I says, "Well, I don't know, yeah, if you think so."
Yeah.
So he phoned up Feinstein, who is the main man. He says, "Look," he says, "I've got John Citrone here." He says, "Can he enter the English Championships coming up?" And he says, "Well, but he hasn't been around for years." He says, "Well, I know." He says, "But you see, in his terrific condition." And Feinstein says, "Well, do you think he's good enough?" Bill says, "Good enough." He says, "When he goes on stage, that roof is going to go up. He's that good." I was sitting there when he's making the talk, and I'm thinking, God. So finally, like, "Okay, then bring him down." So we went down. So I got ready for it. We went down, and it was a terrific lineup. Yeah, and of course I won.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I won as a NABBA man, winning one of the IFBB shows.
Yeah.
And that was one of my best wins, in fact.
Yeah, really, no kidding.
I done really, really well.
And how old were you then, John?
I was about 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah, I was about 40 then. Yeah.
So when these guys would see you, they always would say, "You're in great shape. You're in great shape." So you must have stayed in good shape all the time, right?
I used to. I think. Yeah. For some reason, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I never blew up like.
Never got bulky or anything.
No.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So when did you go back into the NABBA contest when Oscar started the Masters? What year was that?
That's right. I would have been about 48 then.
48. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't have to qualify. So I started and I entered the Masters Mr. Northern Britain. That's our local contest. And I won that. And then through to the Mr. Britain.
Okay.
Which I won that. So then that's qualified now. Then they're having the Mr. Universe coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I entered that and I was second the first year.
Okay.
So second in that. When I come back to it, then I won. And I won, 5 times after that.
5 times, wow.
Yeah, and then 6 times the World Championships. I followed on the World Championships with the Masters Universe each year. For about 10 years, and I won 10 world titles in that time.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
Where was the World Championships? Was that in England too?
Oh no, that used to go around the world. So,
oh, okay. Nice.
Spain and Germany and so they were in different places.
That was usually after the NABBA Universe?
Pardon?
That was usually after the NABBA Universe?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So they're the 2 contests I entered each year for that period.
So what was your ages then through that? Like 48 to 58, something like that?
No, when I won the the Masters Universe first time, I was 50.
You were 50
then, yeah.
Okay.
And the contest were over 40s, and I competed right till the time I was 63.
63, amazing.
63. When I was in Alicante, I won with. I won in Alicante. I was 60, and I still won the over 40s. I still competed in the over 40s.
Wow.
I was going on 60.
Yeah.
And I won there.
Yeah.
And then the following year, I went in over 50s. And
wow.
So
as you got older, John, after 50 and stuff, it really didn't affect you.
That's right. I got to my best condition in my mid 50s.
Really?
By the time I was about 53 or 4, I was in the best condition. Then 55, 56. When I was 56, that's when I won. Then I entered the WABA World Championships, and I won that one as well. So I'd won contests in all 3 major organizations: NABBA, WABA, and IFBB.
Wow.
National champion in all 3.
Yeah.
At the time, I actually competed in 17 Mr. Universe contests.
17.
Probably more than anybody else in the world.
Really? Yeah.
I competed 17 times. I won 9. And then I was runner-up a few times. And my worst place was about 4th.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Times. Yeah.
So did you find as you got older in your 50s, it was easier to get leaner?
For some reason, you know, when I met up with Arthur Jones, when Arthur Jones brought Sergio to the universe,
1971,
and he came over and he told us about the thing about genetics. We were saying, how can we develop arms like Sergio? We want arms like Sergio. How? And he explained that you just can't do it. It just doesn't happen. You've got to be genetically inclined to be able to be that big. It's all within the genes. And a normal person can't develop muscle like that.
Right.
You can develop muscle and get great physiques, but you've got to be that within your genes.
Right.
To get that big. And that's the first time we heard about genetics.
Okay.
And understanding.
Yeah.
And of course, he says you only need 1 set. To achieve this, and if you can't do it on that, you won't do it on 10.
Yeah.
And of course, we followed him, and for years after I trained, my friend he brought the first Nautilus machines into Newcastle. I had a restaurant, a cafe restaurant there, and we had a gym above full of Nautilus equipment, and we trained on the Nautilus equipment. And I trained on that for years, and we're following his advice and that, but just getting nowhere with it.
Yeah.
You know, one set of failure, and decide and getting nowhere. It's when I discovered Metrex, because Arthur Jones says you don't need a high protein diet, nothing to do with building muscle, just a normal amount of protein. That's what you need. And I was following that and just getting nowhere.
Right.
And then we went back to Scott Connolly's metrics, and then went back to normal multiple sets. Then I started to increase.
Oh, okay.
I was doing a lot of I've done a really high protein diet. I was taking down about 6-7 metrics a day. And it was a major part of my diet.
Yeah.
And on a meal at night. So I was living mainly on protein drinks.
Okay.
So I'd gone the other way, multiple sets again, protein drinks. I just went to the best condition I ever got to.
Wow. Okay.
More better than when I was younger. And I was in my 50s then.
I noticed that too. When you were older, you were much more conditioned. You were much more ripped when you were younger. Yeah.
So I stuck with that. And of course, that's how I stayed now. And so I do multiple sets. And I stay in fairly decent condition now.
Yeah. Every time I see you, you look good. You look really lean. Yeah. That's why I wanted to have you on the show, because I wanted to find out your secrets, because you're like, you look good all the time.
So
Yeah, they say that
but
sometimes.
there again, it's in the genes.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he says, it's in the genes.
yeah.
Because people say, well, how do you diet and get like that? And I don't do the diets that a lot of bodybuilders do. All the meals are prepared. They're all set out for the day, for the week.
You don't do that.
Everything counted, all the calories counted.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I just did it normally,
Yeah.
really normally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you do any kind of testosterone therapy, John, like they are in the States, the TRT?
Well, I take testosterone. Well,
Testosterone?
now,
Yeah.
I take testosterone, yeah.
Yeah,
So just part of my normal steroid program, testosterone and steroids, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I used to use, yeah. So now, is deciding that now that I've been off for a few years now, I'm thinking about doing some testosterone now.
Oh, you've been off for a few years?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think testosterone is probably a good thing.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people use it, when you get older. I think it's a beneficial thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you've been off for a few years. You look really good still without it,
Yeah. So I've always, I mean, I'll dabble in it a bit, but yeah, now I'll probably do one, every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say, I've heard people say, like, when you get older, your skin gets thinner or you get that harder, grainier look. And it looks like that happened with you for sure, because you got so ripped when you were older and you were competing in those master shows,
Yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing, it's a funny thing. People say, what we decide on what's the best way to train.
Mm-hmm.
And, you say, well, Dorian says, he trained 4 days a week for 40 minutes and becomes the best physique in the world.
Right.
Arnold says he trains 5 hours a day and becomes the best physique in the world. So who's right? And
right.
who's wrong?
Right.
They're both right.
Right.
One trains 5 hours, one trains 40 minutes, and they're both right.
Right.
So,
Hey, John, I want to ask you about some of the legends that you met over the years and just your thoughts on them. What did you think of Franco? Did you ever get to know Franco at all?
Yeah. Well, I mean, terrific. Yeah.
Yeah, terrific guy. Yeah.
I worked out with him once at Panatas.
Okay.
He was at Panatas one time and I was, and we worked out together one session.
What did you guys train?
Back.
Okay.
We're training back. We're doing rows,
Okay.
low pulley rows. And he said, Sean, you still don't know how to do low pulley rows after all this time. He pulled it up on me style.
What year was this, John? Was it when he was?
No, I can't remember now. It could be, that could be 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was already retired then.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What about Frank Zane? Did you get a chance to meet him when he was winning the NABBA Universe?
Well, I saw him there. I didn't actually meet up with him. I saw him
Okay.
there, and I saw him at the World Championships. When I was
Okay.
doing the guest spot, he won then as well.
Yeah.
So those 3 times I saw him. Yeah.
What did you think of his physique?
Well, terrific. I mean,
Mhm.
but terrific physique. But I still like to see bigger muscles.
Bigger guys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, terrific. He was. Yeah.
Yeah. How about Boyer Coe? Did you get a chance to meet Boyer Coe?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, lovely guy.
Yeah.
Terrific guy.
Yeah.
Boy, yeah. Oh, yeah. So when he came to universe, yeah.
Yeah.
Boyer and Tinerino and because when I met up with Tinerino and when I got to the States after that, and I was training in the gym, and Tinerino came in and I was doing my dumbbell presses and that, and Tinerino saying, "Have you seen the weights that this guy is lifting? Just look at the weights this guy's lifting." Yeah, for sure. I was using the weights then.
Yeah. I heard Dennis was a really nice guy. I never got a chance to meet him.
Yeah. It's funny, he came over, just a few years ago as a minister.
Mhm.
So it was advertised, he's at such in a church as a minister. We went down We went down to see him, and of course we walked in, and as I was walking in, he was on the pedestal, doing some kind of a talk, sermon type thing.
Sure.
And I was walking down the stairs, and he turned around and said, "No, he is a guy that's in shape," because I had a t-shirt on. And then I sat down. He says, "It's John Citrone." I said, "You remember that?" Yeah, he said, "Of course." That was after about 30 years.
Wow, 30 years.
You know, he died the following year.
Oh, did he? Oh, man.
But that was just before he died.
Yeah.
He looked sick, he looked healthy.
Yeah.
He died then. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked when he died too. I thought he died so young, you know.
Yeah.
How about Bill Pearl?
Bill Pearl, terrific guy.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
He's just a gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
He came up the stand was, and again I was on a Pinata stand, just in a vest and shorts. And Bill came up and he said, "You know," he says, "I feel so proud seeing you look in that condition."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
He says, "I feel so proud to see you looking in that condition."
Right, right. That's awesome. Yeah. Did you see the contest where he beat Sergio in 71?
I was there. Oh yes, yeah.
You were there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when Sergio walked on, you just goes, "What?" The size he looked. He was just huge.
Yeah.
I mean, because and of course, it was like the Rick Wayne thing. You hadn't seen anybody that big before.
Right.
It was like when I saw Rick Wayne, you'd never seen anybody that big before in the arms.
Right.
And of course, he walked on, and you just didn't know what to think of him. What that, you know, you were sort of out of it, too big for the year. And then Pearl walks on, perfection. You see, absolute perfection. Just the most beautiful looking physique you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Done in his pose and that. Not ripped muscle, not striated, not cut up and that.
Right.
Beautiful shaped muscle. And he deserved to win, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, I was with Sergio after that because we were going to Wag Bennett's, and Sergio wasn't at Wag Bennett's at the time, and I got that. And of course, Sergio was there, and he was saying, "You know," he says, he was okay about it. He just says, "I just can't understand why this guy beat us." He says, "I can't understand it." He says, "I'm looking at my back." He says, "And my back was better than his." He says, "I'm looking at my arms, and my arms is better than his." He says, "So why did he beat us?"
But you thought Bill should have beat him, huh?
Oh yeah. Most people did at the time as well.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, Sergio was probably, if he had been a little bit leaner, unbeatable.
Yeah.
You know, that smooth look.
Yeah.
Smooth, huge look. Yeah.
Yeah.
More way out, you know, more bigger muscles altogether.
Yeah.
Than Bill Pearl, I think.
Nobody ever saw anything like Sergio back then, right? I mean, when you saw,
you just couldn't imagine his size.
Yeah.
But he dressed well for the part as well. He had this. He used to wear these tight-fitting trousers with the big belt around.
Oh, yeah.
Made his waist look so small and his upper part like that.
Right.
And the slit in the shirt that he wear, and his arms bulging out of it.
Right.
I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
So I suppose nowadays, of course, the biggest still, but then you know.
Yeah.
That's a size that we'd never seen before.
Right. That's what I hear from everybody who saw him back then. They couldn't believe their eyes when they saw him.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Did you get to know Reg Park at all?
Yes. Yeah, Reg. I did a couple of guest spots with Reg as well, and of course, there was one of the times where me and Reg was doing a guest spot. I was doing my strength act then.
Okay.
Reg was doing his posing spot, and of course, through my strength act, I would pick up the heaviest person in the audience with my teeth. Right?
Oh, really? Wow.
Teeth deadlift. And of course, we got the heaviest guy. He came up, so we laid him on the platform, and we put the anvil which was an ace-on handle on top of his chest.
Okay.
I was going to do a special spot here because Reg is watching. So I took them up, picked them up, just pour them up, and the whole thing dragged my teeth out.
No way.
On stage. And I
Your teeth came out?
Yeah. And of course, all my teeth were dislodged. And I had to close the curtain. They closed the curtains.
Oh my God.
I've lost my teeth. I couldn't feel them anymore. I thought they'd all ripped out.
Oh my God.
So, of course, Reg came up to us and says, let's have a look. And he says, no, your teeth are still there. I'm saying I've lost my teeth. And Reg says, no, they're still there. They're still there. Because I couldn't feel them.
Huh.
And it took me years to come from that. Yeah.
Wow.
That was
So they were still there, but you just couldn't feel them.
Still there, and I couldn't feel them. I thought
Wow.
they were gone. Yeah.
So you never did that act again then? You never did that again?
Oh, I did.
You did?
When they recovered a bit, they put a big in a brace. And in the brace, they were even stronger. So I could continue the act.
You got a bridge in your mouth then?
Now, yeah.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But when this happened, that was your real teeth.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So I lost some years after that. Yeah.
That's crazy, John.
Never really recovered. And Reg always says, that's the best strength act we've ever seen.
Yeah.
In recent years, yeah. So,
Yeah.
no, Reg was a great guy.
So sometimes you would pull people from the audience and you would try to have them lift the anvil, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did do it all the time, yeah. And nobody ever do. You know, the anvil and anchor that I lift now, nobody has ever lifted those two props.
How much did it weigh?
One just 100 weight, what do you call 100 weight anvil, which is just 50 kilos. It's a 50 kilo anvil with a handle on, and then the anchor, which was just about the same, slightly smaller. And of course, the idea is to lift them both and get them above your head. It's not although the total weight is about 200 pounds, it's the danger of those two props.
Yeah.
So nobody else could do it. Why I could do it, I don't know. But I could do it. So I had to do it. And I used to do that every day on stage, every night.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, we've still got the props. And I still say to people, have a go. And of course, one time, Jeff Capes, he came up to us. He was world's strongest man a couple of times.
Okay.
Big hero in England, well-known personality.
Okay.
And he came up to us. He says, "Do you know, John?" He says, "The reason I became a strong man," he says, "because of you." He says, "You'll not know this. I came onto your stage once to try and lift your props."
Oh, really? No kidding.
Yeah, he says, "I came onto your stage and I said, 'Did you do it?' I knew nobody had done it. And I said, 'All right, did you do it?' He said, 'No, I lifted the anvil, but I couldn't get them both up.' I says, 'All right, yeah.' He says, and I was so impressed with your act, I wanted to become a strong man."
Wow, you inspired him.
He became a stronger than one world's strongest man twice.
Wow, no kidding. That's unbelievable. Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah, it's funny. They used to all do that back then. A lot of guys would do the strongman thing.
Yeah.
I can't believe you would pull somebody from the audience and have them try it. I mean, I would think
Oh, yeah.
people would really get hurt, you know?
All right. Well, one person really lost his foot. He got the anvil up and it came down the point, straight right under his foot. He broke all his legs.
Oh, my God.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They would never do that now, John, with the lawsuits and all that, you know?
Yeah, no, they do it. Oh, they do. Yeah.
Still? Yeah.
And of course, when he came back the next day. He says, "Look, I'm going to have to sue you for it." And of course, when I spoke to the solicitor, he says, "You can have a lighted time bomb on stage. If they want to have a go, that's up to them." He says, "You got nothing to worry about. There's no comeback from you." Yeah. You're not forcing anybody to try and do anything.
No, they're volunteering to do it. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
So that was that.
So do you ever travel to the Arnold Classic anymore? They got the Arnold Classic coming up next week, or the Olympia? No.
No, I did. Only about 4 years ago. I saw it in Madrid.
Okay.
That was the last time.
Okay.
And then that's the only time. Yeah. Otherwise, although last year I was in Alicante, and of course, it came up. It wasn't the Arnold one in Alicante. And I went to see that.
Okay.
So I still go down and see 1 or 2 shows. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the bodybuilding scene today, John? How big the guys are?
I just think, I mean, some of these big Ramy and some of these guys are getting criticized, but they've got the most amazing physiques.
Yeah.
They're getting criticized for it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. It's like saying, if the guys have got to get smaller, it's like Grand Prix cars have got to get slower. I mean,
That's
size,
right.
this is bodybuilding. Size is the name of the game. You know?
Yeah.
You don't, racing cars can't become slower. The one guy's now to become smaller.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You can't go backwards now, right?
No. I like to see that kind of size. And
Yeah.
it's more, I mean, of course, Frank Zane size looks fantastic. It all looks fantastic. But it's just, to me, the big guys look fantastic as well. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So bring it on for me, but it's not becoming good for the public. They don't.
Right.
It's looking like they're not liking that tiny size.
Yeah.
But it's still bringing the audiences.
Yeah.
So the Olympics still packed houses and still so popular. So
Yeah.
$100,000 prize money, not to be sniffed at. Yeah.
No.
So we'll see how it goes in the next few years, but you can't turn the clock back. People
No, it doesn't seem like it. No.
Smaller bodybuilders.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Who are some of the most impressive guys you saw on stage or in the gym, John? Some of the legendary bodybuilders. Who were some of the most impressive? You mentioned Sergio, but were there any other ones?
I mean, endless. Yeah, I mean, all of them.
Yeah.
All of the great universe winners, all terrific physiques in their days. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, right up to now, they've just this huge size that they're attaining now is just it's odd. How are they getting that big now?
Yeah.
There they are. There they go. But
Yeah, it seems like there's.
I like to see them even, now the size they are now.
Yeah.
You see, they're coming on Facebook, and you see some of these guys on Facebook, and they're just going, "Look at the size of this guy."
I know.
He's not even competing yet.
Right. I know.
He's looking towards the Olympia, and I've never even heard of them, and they're just huge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are having health problems too now. It seems like,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But mind, as the spectrum goes, I mean, okay, they're talking about people dying. I mean, it's within the pool. As the pool grows, okay, so you're going to get more people dying. It's whether, on a percentage point of view, is the deaths higher than they've ever been? I don't know. From a percentage point of view, as the pool grows, then you'll get more deaths.
Yeah, that's true.
Point of view, whether it's
I understand.
or
Yeah.
See, I'm not sure now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How, just statistically, is the difference really? Yeah, but of course, I mean, it's not just steroid use; it's all sorts of medications that they're probably taking.
Yeah.
It's not just basic steroids; it's whatever they're on.
Yeah. So you're retired now, John? You and your wife are retired?
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
And you spend your time between you go to Spain a lot, right?
Yeah. But I've got 2 places there. I've got a villa down in Marbella and a seafront apartment in Alicante.
Okay.
So we spend time there now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you're an inspiration to all of us, John. You look fantastic, and it was really a pleasure talking to you about your career in bodybuilding.
Yeah. Really nice. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. So have a great 79th birthday, and keep inspiring us with all you're doing, man, because you're You're amazing to us, you know?
Right. Talk to you again.
Okay, John. Good talking to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care, buddy.